is. Yesterday, Bruce Arians denied that his team lacks a psychological edge because of the 2 losses, saying, "I don't think there's any more swag than our offense has. I guarantee that. You can't get caught up in the finger pointing and the trash talking. You've got to play football." So, Shannon, how big of a psychological edge do the Saints have after winning the first 2 matchups, including the blowout Week 9?
I don't think it's that big of an edge, Skip, but I don't think they're in awe of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the swag they potentially come into this game with. They feel that if we play our best, they play their best, we're better than them. That's how the Saints feel about this, Skip, because
I agree.
We've beaten them twice. We match up very well because of our physicality.
Yep.
Latimer loves the challenge of going up against Mike Evans, Skip. In 2 games this year, 1 catch, 2 yards, and he had 0 catches last year. So Lattimore loves that challenge. There's no love lost between these 2 guys.
Nope.
I'm assuming they will probably put Jack Rabbit to Norris Jenkins. He might play AB in the slot. I'm not sure.
He might.
That's probably the matchup that I'm probably thinking they're going to go with.
Listen, Chris Godwin is really good.
We do, but of the threats, we feel Evans, AB can do more damage than Godwin, and then our third corner, we like that matchup. They like that matchup. I'm saying they like that matchup.
Well, by Sunday, you're going to be a we. You need this one.
But Skip, I'm doing good right now. You know what I mean? The Lakers won the title, Bama. I mean, you trying to give me sweepstakes? I don't want to be greedy or anything.
I don't know how you take Bama. I mean, how do you suddenly co-op Bama? I don't know where that came from. You're not from Alabama.
How close?
You didn't go to Alabama.
How close to Alabama? Georgia close to Alabama, right?
Okay, that's all you got.
The biggest key for both teams, Skip, is going to be what? Pressure. Which team can keep their quarterback clean? The Saints really need to keep Drew clean because you don't really want to go to your backup. Because I believe if something were to happen to Drew in this game, they're going to Jameis, not Taysom Hill.
You could be right.
But what we've seen from the Saints when they play Tampa, they've been able to get pressure on Brady with 4. Get pressure with 4 and not compromise your back end. That's going to be key again. Now, I give you Bruce Arians is absolutely right. Their offense is playing with a lot of swag. They play really, really well. But I don't believe over the last 5 weeks they faced a defense as comparable as the New Orleans Saints. So we'll see if that swag is well placed. You know, the Pittsburgh Steelers had a lot of swag, did a lot of talking. At the end of the day, Skip, you got to play this game.
Yep.
Ain't no about no swag and about what you did the last 5 games, and we started this, we started that. Sunday is 1 for 1. And you're going to play, you got 60 minutes, maybe have to go 70 minutes.
Okay.
But.
All right. Of this entire NFL regular season, what was the most shocking outcome of all to me? It was on a Sunday night at Tampa Bay.
33.
I just didn't see that coming.
Right.
New Orleans went into Tampa Bay. They had just acquired Antonio Brown. They tried to force him into the rotation right away. They were 6-2, and people were talking about maybe the best team in football is Tampa Bay. Defense plus offense. And what happened? Well, nothing happened to Tampa Bay because they got bum rushed. They got annihilated, humiliated on national television.
They did.
They were hapless. They were hopeless. That they had no chance on offense while Drew Brees just went up and down the field.
He did.
And went touchdown, stopped it, fumbled at the 2. They were going in for a touchdown. Right. Touchdown, field goal. What? It's a mismatch. It's all-time not competitive. You were not competitive in that game. They had to call timeout with 5:23 left to kick a field goal to get to 3. So what if you're on the Saints right now, what are you thinking? You
feeling really good, Skip. Here's the thing. We know we can play with this team. We're not in awe of the offense because, Skip, they do trot out an all-star football team. They got Tom Brady. You make the case he's the 1 or 2nd best quarterback of all time. You got 3 guys that's going to the Pro Bowl.
Yep.
All-Pro, all-world, all-century tight end. Cameron Brate, up-and-coming tight end. A very solid offensive line. So, you know, they feel good getting off the bus, knowing that they can put points on the board. But the Saints says we can match them. We can match their physicality. We can match up with them on the edges, and we can shut down their run with our front 7.
So I'm not a big fan of Bruce Arians speaking because he just talks and talks and talks to hear himself talk because it's all about his own ego. But I did love what he said in this interview yesterday, this media session, because he made a lot of piercing points to me. But the best one was the one Jenny read. I don't think there's any more swag than our offense has right now. I guarantee that. Meaning the New Orleans defense, as much swagger as it plays with, and it will talk and it will finger point and it got Chicago completely out of its game twice. Right?
Skip, I want to know what 22 is saying and he received to make him swing on it.
I don't know, but he made him swing. He made him swing, and it happened twice.
Yes!
Okay, well, that's how they play, but they can back it up. They can put their actions where their mouths are.
He's leading somebody girl a DM. He ain't somebody girl DM.
Okay, there's something going on there where he pushed the hottest button he could push.
Skip, he just minded his own business, Skip.
Okay, well, don't underestimate. They will try to do that, this team. And if they get Tampa on the run, they are going to bury Tampa because they don't like Tampa.
Yeah. What's concerning to me is that he said there's no more swag than our offense.
Mm-hmm. He didn't say anything about his defense.
You know his defense got to play too, right?
No, he has to
and
play.
You do know, like the Saints.
Okay, well, what did I tell you yesterday? The only hope for Tampa Bay is to go in there and outscore Drew Brees. But you can't outscore him by going in the 40s because you're not going to score 40 against this defense.
Right.
Could you get into the 30s? Maybe, if you were hitting on every cylinder. And what is the biggest X factor from that Sunday night game to this one? It's Antonio Brown.
Right.
He was not ready to play on that Sunday night. He had no business being in the rotation. He was in the starting lineup on that Sunday night. He just joined the team.
Well, I thought that, Skip, if you think about it, for the most part, that night they tried to force feed him the ball. That was the only time that I really thought Tom was trying to force him the ball.
He was.
If you look at Saturday, Skip, he only caught 2 passes.
Yeah.
Now, they were huge catches. He had a nice run, but they didn't force him the ball. And I don't believe Tom will force him the ball. He'll let coverage dictate. And if Lattimore doing a great job on Evans, why force the ball? Why try to prove a point? Oh, we can complete passes on you. Why?
Okay. I still believe that if they're going to pull off scoring 30-something points and winning this game by outscoring Drew Brees, Antonio Brown's going to have to be the difference maker. He's going to have to make 2 or 3 plays,
right,
catch and run kind of plays, that will be the difference in this game. Chris Godwin was disappointing to me at Washington because he dropped 3 balls, including a touchdown.
He had some yips.
He had some yips, but remember, that was his first ever playoff game. Tom Brady's played in 42 playoff games.
Right.
Chris Godwin was in his first. Mike Evans was in his first. Majority of this whole roster was in its first playoff game. So at least they got that out of the way and under their belt. But this is going to be a whole nother level of football.
But the Chris Godwin, Skip, is still, I mean, you used to you'd be able to do your hands like this, and he has to have his 2 fingers taped together. So,
got it. But that hadn't bothered him until now.
Well, a lot of times, Skip, you know, he's a body catcher. He's not. Yeah. He doesn't just reach up and just pluck the ball.
No, I agree.
And so, but I don't think that'll be a problem this week. Can the Tampa offensive line, can they protect him?
Yeah.
And can Brady avoid?
And who did he single out when he was talking about single matchups, you know, one-on-ones? He's got a rookie tackle at right tackle.
Yeah,
and he's going to go up against Cam Jordan. But he's faced him twice now, so he knows he's got the lay of the land, you know?
The matchup, Skip, is Hendrickson against Donovan Smith. If Hendrickson can play.
Yeah.
That's the matchup.
Oh, I know.
Because that was the guy